Welcome everybody to this little quick tutorial. I came up with this neat little system to make a portal system, portal network in Minecraft. And the way it works is like this. If you imagine this be the overworld and this be the nether, and the obsidian blocks are portals. If I travel from this portal to the nether, I would exit right here in the nether. But if I disable this portal, one other portal will be my destination. So if I manage to disable exactly the right ones, so that my destination, whatever it may be, is the one that gets picked by the game, then I can go there from this portal. And that's how the system works. Essentially, since one of the updates, there's been a change of mechanics, and the mechanic is that if you toss an item into another portal, the chunk it exits will be loaded for 15 seconds. And that's what we're going to exploit, exactly what we're going to exploit. So right here we have the overworld setup, and basically there's a lectern on which we can select the page, and the pages correspond to portals that you can go to, and also correspond to a number of items that is inserted into the portal right here. So first page, no items, 1 item, 2 items, 3 items, and so forth. So items get dispensed into the portal by the dispenser behind it, and in the nether we have a setup that looks like this. So the items come out and they fall into this hopper, and the second they do, the portal gets destroyed, and about 13.5 seconds later the portal gets reignited, so this whole system resets. But in this time frame we can toss another item into the portal, and that item will not travel to this portal but to another one. And as long as we keep inserting items into portals, we keep disabling portals, and we disable exactly the right amount of portals until the destination portal is the right one. So we can travel through here, through this portal, and for example in a simplified setup we will only have, let's say, 4 portals, and we want to go from here to over there. So first of all, toss 1 item in. The closest one is this one, so this one gets disabled. Toss another item in, this one gets disabled. Toss another item in, this one gets disabled. 3 items have gone in, now the player goes in. And now we can travel from this portal to this portal. And now we exit here, and if we step into the portal again, we exit here. So we travel from here to there. And after a short amount of time, all these portals will reignite and the whole system resets. And the same thing can be done from any portal, but the priority list will be a different one. So this book in the lectern here will have to be configured individually for every single portal and every single station. But that's not so hard. Normally it's just the closest one. In cases like this, you just have to try it out. Okay. Now the way it works is I'm contemplating right now whether I just build it or show you how it works. We'll start with another portal. That's fairly simple. We have 2 hoppers. This one points into that one, and down here, down here, down here into a chest. So the items get stacked up. Then we have a comparator on the other side of the first one, because every single item has to travel through this hopper, pointing it to a node block. Observer looks at a node block, observer looks into observer, this block, and a dispenser here with a lava bucket. So once there's a pulse here, there will be 2 short pulses going up to here and quickly dispense the lava bucket. And also this system gets this signal will get passed down to here, to this redstone dust. That will turn off this torch. The torch turns off this dust. So this torch turns on and the items can travel here. Essentially this part down here is a pulse lengthener. And we have exactly 32 items in one of the hoppers. That corresponds to about 13.5 seconds of delay. After that, it will turn on again. It will turn off again. The torch will turn on again. This piece of redstone will turn on again. This dispenser will fire, reigniting the portal. So there's a lava bucket in the right one, and a flint and steel in the left one. Yeah, and every single nether portal that you have will have to be set up like this. And if you don't do that, then eventually you will always end up at the portal that doesn't have the system in place. The overworld portals can be whatever you want to have. Okay, for the overworld portal, firstly notice there's a space behind the portal. That has to be there, or else the items don't drop through the portal properly. As you can see, it's quite compact. There are little bits and bobs sticking out, but you can put some dirt over that if you wish. Essentially, this is your ground level. But this one has to be a conducting block, and this one is also there to hide the redstone. But other than that, I think it's quite compact. Okay, let's open it up and have a look inside. We have a lectern here, in which we place a book that has 15 pages. So the comparator output levels are exactly right. And the comparator down here is not actually reading it, because will get selected by this button. There's a sticky piston pointing downwards with a block, and that block will transmit the comparator signal over. And the comparator signal travels down here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks. And on each of these blocks there's a torch, and there are droppers here pointing upwards with dispensable, I don't really know the English word for that, like items you can get rid of. I'm using bits of dust here. And hoppers pointing that way into another dropper. So this dropper is there, and let me quickly break open the ground. There's another dropper pointing upwards and another dispenser pointing inwards to the portal. And an observer over here. And this little circuit down here is just to fire this dropper as long as there are items inside. So this comparator and 2 repeaters on 4 ticks today that will turn off the comparator, and thus this whole thing cycles through as long as there are items in here. Then there's this redstone dust and observer pointing downwards that is behind the block down there. That's just to fire the dispenser up top, and a target block with a torch on top that will enable this light. That's totally optional. If you want to have it, you can have it. If you don't need it, then don't build it. It's up to you. So that's how it works, essentially. Now we can try the system by selecting a page. In this one I only have 2 portals, but essentially you can build a few more. The time frame is not that large, so I reckon about maybe I'd say 6 or 7 portals in the system that could work. But I'm not sure. I've tried 4. Maybe I make some more tests. So we select page number 2. That means 1 item will get inserted, and the corresponding portal to this portal will get disabled. And let's see it in action. We press button, and an item is expanded here. And now the portal is disabled. We can go through. And this is not the portal. This corresponds to the portal we just went through. And it's exactly the same thing we built in the nether portal. Now if we go through, we will not be at the same location we entered, because this is the other portal. And if we now do the same thing again and disable the closest nether portal to this one, by doing the same thing again, we'll disable the portal in the nether we just went through. That's now disabled. We can go through. We're right here in the nether. That's about 150 blocks distance in the nether, about 1200 blocks in the overworld, and we can go back through, and we are back to our original location. But this process can be repeated with many more. Essentially, this process can be repeated with many more portals in the world. And as you can see right here, there's a distance limit in the nether, and that limit is 10 chunks in each direction. That's how far the game looks for nether portals. So if there are nether portals outside of that, it's not going to find them. But if you've already traveled from here to there, new nether portals will become available. So you can just extend the book in the lectern and add new locations. But they won't be directly accessible from here, but only from those who are nearby in the nether. And you can essentially just stitch up huge systems of nether portals. Yeah. It's another thing that I'm forgetting right now. Yeah, a few side notes. Build these portals in not over the chunk borders. I've had them not work properly if you do that. If it doesn't work directly, try moving the portals in the nether just a little closer without changing the portals in the overworld. That might fix the issue. Down here we have this delay that essentially decides how long of a time or how short of a time there is between every item. You can fiddle with that a bit. I have not yet optimized that. Maybe you can get maybe it just works with one repeater, but I've noticed it's a little bit unstable. 2 repeaters is quite stable. Yeah. Another thing is to account for the time it takes in survival to go through a portal. So after the last item is in, just directly go into the portal. I've not tried this yet either. No, I'm ill prepared, but what can you do? Is there another thing? I don't think there is. Just try it out yourselves. Have a little bit of fun. I built a system with 4 portals that works all right. So 4 portals works great. Yeah, try around and see what you can build. Cheers, and thank you for watching. Okay, I've got a little test world right here where I designed all of these things, and there are 4 portals: green, yellow, blue, and red. And this one has the overworld station. All the other ones don't have anything, and you don't really need anything if you don't want to go to the other stations from that one portal. But from this portal, we can go to any of these. And just like I told you earlier, you can just select the station right here. Let's go to yellow. And that just means dropping in one item, and it will disable this portal right here. We can go through, and that didn't work. Why didn't that work? Let's try it again. That's weird. Now it worked. Weird. Weird thing. As you can see, the original portal we would have actually came out of is disabled right now, and now it's re-enabled. We can go back here. Now we're back at the station. Now we will try and just hope for the best. I'm not really confident, but we should come out of blues. Let's see. 1, 2, 3 items. Go through, and it worked. Now we're at blue. As you can see, the other portals will get temporarily disabled. This one is already back on, this one is back on, this one is back on. If we just go back through the one that we just came out of, which is the blue one, we come out of the blue one in the overworld, and that's the one back here. And yeah, you can build this station for all the other ones. The books and the priority list will be different, but the rest will be essentially the same. Yeah.